Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today's Tuesday, and our topic today is talking about the energy of now with reference to the moon. So the energy of now is that tomorrow will be a full moon. And what is so powerful about the 26th of May, it's an eclipse. And a few days later will be another eclipse. So you have a full moon starting one eclipse, and then the new moon starting a second. So and in between is known as the time between eclipses. The time between eclipses is usually a time of disappointment and miscommunication. So I want you to be aware that this new moon, this full moon we're entering, which is tomorrow, which is also Wesa's birthday, is a powerful full moon. I made some notes here. It's a super full moon. It's a total lunar eclipse, and it's a blood moon. What is so powerful about this moon is the fact that this moon is very full. So we're going to have a lot of emotions. So just observe your extreme emotions, from extreme joy to extreme anger to sudden bursts of emotion and even tears. And it's important to be aware that this is what we're going into for tomorrow. It's also Buddha's birthday, when he died and he got enlightened at the same time. And this is so important. So this power of rebirth, enlightenment, death, is we look at where we're dying and what needs to die. So perhaps has your cupboard broken down? Has your table, does something in your house need mending? So this is something that tells you something is broken. Is it your sink? Is it your bathroom? What needs fixing or repairing? It's not a bad issue. It's just for you to look at what needs looking at. So what emotional issue is sending you up and down? So recently I was working with a client who was having quite an emotional, traumatic experience with her partner. And now they're off on holiday. So after that great trauma, that upheaval, they're taking a break, a way to reignite the love and the light within themselves and move forward in their life. It didn't mean that they're here today celebrating away. They're not going to be in their country. They'll be somewhere else celebrating their togetherness. And this is so important, that when you have a disruption, there's a healing process, there's a coming together. So how are you preparing for the full moon? So one of the things I say is just think of 3 things that you perhaps want to address or complete or look at before tomorrow. And then be aware of 3 things that you have completed that just make you understand that this is really a full circle in your life. So when we're talking about moon and the energy of the moon, we're talking about the emotions that are happening, how the moon is affecting our emotions. And we already know that the full moon, let alone an eclipse full moon, is quite intensive in terms of the extremes of emotions. So the 26th, which is tomorrow, is a day to celebrate what you have achieved and what it is that you want to achieve. It's about celebrating the fullness of the moon shines its light of brilliance on you. And it's not that you haven't had other issues or situations you're handling. It's about how you've dealt with that situation, no matter how painful, how raw, how truthful you are in the arguments or the discussion you're having, so that you're each speaking your truth and hopefully hearing each other. So there is a meeting and a healing, like I mentioned earlier about my couple. So we have this total lunar eclipse. Then 2 weeks later, we're going to have the new moon. This new moon is in Gemini, and it's an annular solar eclipse. So the time between these 2 eclipses is a time of miscommunication, misinformation, computer, internet breaking down, sending a text and somebody not answering, getting angry and being abrupt. So we're moving into the energy of power struggles. So this time between eclipses, where we may have disrespect or something. So just be aware that this energy we're moving into is a celebration. Tomorrow is a celebration. We're also celebrating the enlightenment, the rise and death of the Buddha. So I've got here Wesak, or Buddha Day, the birth, enlightenment and death of Gautama Buddha. So this is quite powerful. So what are you being enlightened about, and what part of you is dying and what is birthing? And this full moon is very powerful. It's also Gautama Buddha's birthday. So if I look at this full moon, it's a full moon in Sagittarius, which is the archer. So you have the archer. You know, I actually bought an archer, a bow and arrow. Let me see if I can get it. I'm so excited because I want to show you this bow and arrow I bought. So this bow and arrow, oh, I've got it all tied up. Can you see the bow and arrow? And that's the arrow, and I've got it tied up. I didn't plan it. So it's a Native American shamanic. So you can see that full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the archer, half man, half animal. Where are you aiming? Where are you aiming that bow and arrow to? What is it that you are wanting, that you're really wanting, and you keep saying you want it, but you're not doing anything to get it? So it's the full moon in Sagittarius and the sun in Gemini. So there's the duality, the opposition, that you may be in conflict. You're twins and yet you're together, and then you're fighting, and then you're the archer, and you want to set your goal. You want to aim your arrow so you get what you want. I'm trying to remove it. I've done it too tight. I can't do it. And the idea is to hold the bow and arrow together. And in the process of holding the bow and arrow together, you want to look at what are you aiming at? What do you want to celebrate this full moon? And this full moon is so important. I haven't done it properly. So can you see this shamanic bow? And can you see the arrow? I sort of attached it so that I wouldn't lose it, you know. But I forgot I needed to have it ready. Maybe I'll have it ready for tomorrow. So the idea is to hold that bow and arrow, and put that arrow there and send it off to that target, to that one thing. So I say to you, what one thing can you focus on today that will celebrate something about you, your life, your mission? And that's what's so powerful, you know. What are you ready to move forward? What are you celebrating? What has to die? What has died? And what is the enlightenment? Buddha got enlightened under the Buddha tree. Where is your enlightenment? And it's interesting, it always happens on a full moon. So on a full moon we're celebrating something there and on tight. So that's the arrow. Can you see? It's made of leather. So can you see that arrow? And then it has the end. So this is the bow. Can you see? I got it from the shop. And we aim. Can you see? We aim that. And we hold. We focus like that, and we aim. And we let go. I mean, I'm not an archer, so I may not be holding it properly. Forgive me. Right? So we hold that. And then we let go. And that's the arrow. Can you see? And we keep that eye focused, single-mindedly yearning to hit that target. And then we let it go. So, where are you the archer? How are you the archer in your life? How are you aiming that bow and arrow? I love my bow and arrow. It's shamanic. It's Native American. I love that. I love that little pointed pyramid kind of thing there. How are we looking at manifesting in this full moon? Also, this full moon anchors in the Mercury retrograde, which we all talk about, and about everything going backwards and things not happening well. Well, whether it's a retrograde or not, things happen good and things sometimes don't happen good. So with this retrograde, it's time for you to just be aware that things may not go as you planned. It doesn't mean you stop focusing on your goal. It doesn't mean you stop focusing on what it is that you're wanting. It's about you just being very clear, and like I said with the archer, being very focused. and intentional on what it is that you are wanting. And it may be all you want to do is sleep. All you want to do is go for a walk. All you want to do is be on your own. All you want to do is to gather for the meditation tomorrow and just allocate some special time for yourself. And this also is very important, right? So we have a pure eclipse. We have a pure supermoon. The moon really is full, and it's wonderful. So the qualities, right, are, we just look at the quality of adaptability. You may find it a little bit restless, a little changeable. And then we have the planets, Mercury and Jupiter. Jupiter's happy and go-lucky, bringing in fun and good fortune into your life. You know, and Mercury is fast, it's intellect, it's the mind. So if you're doing a lot of healing around this time, the healing is fast. It's instantaneous healing. So that's what we'll be doing in the meditation, giving out some instantaneous healing, right, and some power. So the time of the meditation tomorrow is 7 p.m., right? So this also is a flower moon. So you want to be looking at how flowers play a role in your life, how you could perhaps buy yourself some flowers, you know, buy flowers for the flat or for your office, and just enjoy looking after the flowers. Or if you have, perhaps you have plants in your home or in your garden, just take time to serve nature. And this is so important. So this eclipse, this lunar eclipse, is masculine. The lunar is masculine, right? This super total lunar eclipse, right? Sorry, it's a lunar eclipse. On Monday, on the new moon, on the 10th, is a solar eclipse. I'm getting myself confused. So a solar eclipse is masculine. It is the father. A lunar eclipse is feminine. It is a woman. It is the yin energy. So a solar eclipse is masculine. A lunar eclipse is feminine. And we're going to be in between these two eclipses. So we have the first eclipse tomorrow, which is a lunar eclipse. Who can tell me what a lunar eclipse is? A lunar eclipse is feminine. And a solar eclipse is masculine. So tomorrow we're working with the lunar energy, and in the new moon on the 10th of June will be a solar new moon, which is masculine. So when tomorrow is a total lunar eclipse, we're looking at the feminine aspects. I've got it written down because my brain sort of, when I'm in healing, is different from when I'm teaching. So this is passive, and we're looking at your inner aspect. What are you doing in your reflection with this full moon? And this is so important. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I didn't want to say too much. Any questions? I don't know if I can see any comments. No comments. All right then. If you come back and you have some questions, if you write them in the comments, I will talk to you again about that, and I'll answer your comments, okay? I will post the link for the meditation tomorrow, which is at 7. And I really want you to understand that the time between eclipses, as you can see, eclipse is also masculine and feminine, and the time between those very anchored vibrations can cause conflict and misunderstanding and miscommunication. So we're entering this full moon very intentional, and the full moon radiates our light. And in this time, we say this is where we're at, so that by the time of the new moon, we're ready to plant the new seeds from our lessons and our learnings. Yeah? And this is so important. It's about looking at this time as a process of understanding what it is and where you are now, realistically. Yeah? And just being aware of that. A client called me today and spoke about how he's always in the air. He's not grounded. And he's finding it difficult, but he's learning about the various stages of learning how to anchor his energy to be more grounded. So he's not up in the air or fluffy, or he's not up in the air and dreaming and not focusing on his target. So as we already said, the archer with a bow and arrow is about focusing with your bow and your arrow. What is your intention? What are you celebrating? If you are focusing on something and you're losing that focus, it's no longer a focus. You're disempowering yourself. That's it. I don't know what else to say. I'm just so excited. I will repeat. I will actually maybe write a few things, so I can just write a few things. So if you didn't get it or I confused you, I will explain it in the comments, okay? However, did I? No, everything was very well explained. Looking at the energy and the energy of now with the energy of the new moon. As you will see also in our Facebook group, I always have the anniversaries. We're always celebrating something sacred in the group. So you may not be aware of the sacredness. We are. When we are celebrating, and slowly we begin to see how the energy builds up. Like before this full moon, we had Pentecost, where the descent of the Holy Ghost on the apostles when Jesus rose, right? And then we have Shavuot, we have the Ascension Day when Jesus ascended, then we have the Eid festival, the end of Ramadan. So there were lots of build up to this full moon and this eclipse, and it's so beautiful to go and see and witness the eclipse, right? I usually have now this eclipse is visible in Southeast Asia, Australia, North and South America. It's not visible here in London. The annual lunar eclipse on the new moon in Gemini is visible in North and South America, Southeast Asia and Australia. So the element we're working with today is fire and air. So fire needs freedom. Fire needs oxygen to burn. That is air. Air needs freedom. Sagittarius is free. Sagittarius doesn't want to be restricted. It wants to have the freedom to do what it wants. So are you relaxing? Or are you feeling you want to control a situation, control a person? These are things we just want to look at this full moon. And above all, celebrate the greatness of the light shining on you. So let's just visualize that you're standing or sitting in the middle of the earth, and the sun is just shining at you, and then the moon comes and shines its silver diamond light on you, and then you have the golden light of the sun, and the sun moves away, and just feel this diamond light of the moon shining on you, illuminating the greatness of you and the power of you. And just allow yourself to be blessed by the rays of this full moon tomorrow. Love you, love you, love you. I will see you again. I hope that was helpful. I went up for too long, 18 minutes. Meant to be 5. Bye. Bye.